Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for this week's question and answer video. I hope all of you are feeling good, feeling better. The holiday season is here and I hope everyone's handling it okay. Sometimes I make holiday videos for you guys. Let me know if you want me to. I just like to say every year that I know that a lot of you have had horrible experiences with the holidays. And so as it's approaching, we get nervous, anxious, scared, worried. Scared that our brains are going to tell us that we're going to have the same experience we did last year, or a horrible one that we had the year before or the year before. I just want you to know that you don't have to do anything this year. You don't have to celebrate nothing. You don't have to do anything. Sometimes I do that for fun, just to kind of make it better for the next year. Not celebrate this one, and it's 2 years until I celebrate Christmas and New Year's and stuff like this, and it feels good, or whatever holiday you guys are celebrating this month. You don't have to do anything. I think for me, my personal opinion, the best is just being around people. If you can be around someone, that could be good for you. Giving gifts is something that is good for us. It's okay to give gifts to feel good about ourselves. It helps, it feels good. And I want you to know that if you try and you make some kind of effort to celebrate and have a good time this year, as long as everything goes okay, it gets better. It gets better and better every year. Our brains go back to the last experience we had. And if you had a bad experience last year and you have a good one this year, you'll have a better one next year. You won't be so scared and worried. Okay? Just get through them. They're almost over anyway. But if you can, try to celebrate around somebody you care for. All right, and cares about you. I like to recommend something every week in my Q&As. This week, I want to recommend what you guys recommend. I've done this before once, and I like to do it again. What was the best thing that helps you guys along your journey, or is helping you in your current journey right now? Can you list some things that help you guys the most down below? We know, as we know, and I push pretty hard, that talking is number one. Talking is the best, and there's no replacing it, period. If we need therapy, talk therapy, coaching, psychotherapy, medicine, stuff like this, if we need it, then we need it. And most of us experience trauma, we need it. And nothing can replace that. There's no supplement for it. But along with talk therapy, the biggest thing that helped me was sleep. Starting to love sleep, love my bed for the first time in my life. I've never had 8 hours sleep in my entire life, even broken, never. Until I started having better sleep, recovering from this stuff a few years ago. I know how. I've made sleep videos. One's called Sleep Hygiene in my c-ptsd or Healing c-ptsd playlist. And I give lots of recommendations on better sleep, but anybody who really, really wants good sleep and has trouble staying asleep or falling asleep or going back to sleep and their whole life because you're recovering from trauma, you can contact me and I can help you do that at daviddemars.com. But I'd like to hear all of your guys' suggestions. Could you guys feel comfortable sharing what helps you the most? Exercise, reading, writing. And if you did see someone and you have talked to someone, I'd love to hear it down below. Thank you, guys. That's my recommendation. What you guys recommend. What worked for you guys. I started a petition I haven't mentioned lately at change.org/stopbullies. And it's a online narcissistic bullying petition. It's to stop it. I'd appreciate it if you guys haven't already, consider signing it. There's a link right down below in the comment section and the description box. It's global. It's worldwide. Guys, just follow it, hit yes, that's it. 1 or 2 buttons, that's it. I'd appreciate it if you could support it. Thank you, because we need to stop this, right? All of you have been stalked. Most of you don't know it. Those are the stats. We need to stop online bullying because it forces people to commit suicide, take their own lives, and it's just bad for society. We don't need to be around that. Thank you, guys. All right, let's get into the questions. Lots of good ones. I just want to say, if I missed your question, it might have been deleted. I'm being shadow banned, so every little thing that people do doesn't stick. I mean, questions, likes, share, it's just a mess. So I'd appreciate if I missed your question, ask again. If I misunderstand it, ask again. If you misunderstand my answer, ask again. Okay, please. I don't miss anyone's questions on purpose. All right, October Girl. I don't know where you're from. Everybody, please let us know your locations. Just give a general area where you're at. Thanks. I relate to what JRM said because I've had trouble talking about my mother. There's so much abuse from her that I didn't even know where to start. I find that writing down different events and things she said did help me. and get in touch with my feelings about them, and I write my feelings down too. That's the most important part, feelings, right? You don't need to write things down that don't bother you. It didn't bother you because it's not emotional. Yeah, the things that bother you is emotional. That's the most important, your emotions. I'll write my feelings down too. It helps me to think more clearly about what actually upsets me and why, finding the source of your feelings. Drinking alcohol helps numb emotional pain, which makes sense why it's easier to talk about things that feel more painful to talk about without it. I just wanted to share in case it helps someone, and yes, it does. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Alcohol, very, very, very common with this stuff, guys. Any addictions, from sex, gambling, work, alcohol, drugs, very, very common. Our relationships are dependent, right? And so now we're so upset about our dependent relationship that's over, and we find it hard to talk sober about it. So we depend on something else, alcohol, a stimulant, to help us talk about it. You see that? So eventually, we keep doing that, we'll be totally dependent on alcohol. If you can find a way to talk about it anyway, without the alcohol, you won't be dependent on it. Thanks for sharing. Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. My 24-year-old son moved out last weekend. First night, all I did was cry. And then I remembered you telling me that I would never want to stop my son's journey. How selfish of me. I was trying to raise a fully grown man. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Well, I'm sorry that your son left your house. That's still sad. It's okay to cry. You love him, right? We're grieving. He took up an amount of space and time that he won't take up anymore. He's somewhere else, and you're probably a little scared for him, and that's okay. Thanks for telling me. That's nice, though. And, you know, that's nice. I don't know. I'm sorry you cried and that you're sad, but it's still nice to see that you care. Yeah, and that you see that. You're like, oh my God, how selfish of me to not encourage my son to go on his journey and to not support him. But you're okay, Mom. Moms cry. Moms miss their sons and love them and keep telling them to nauseam. But that's good. Thanks for your comment, Victoria. Tara from the Niagara area, Canada. Beautiful area, Niagara Falls. My spirit animal is a skunk. Huh. Laid back, but don't provoke me. Introverted and a good caregiver. I've heard that about skunks. That, and when I sense danger, I always seem to either see or smell a skunk to alert me to pay attention. Also, I want to do a happy dance, as I can truly say your videos, along with my therapy, have given me some tools, coping skills, and ability to recognize when, and more importantly, how a specific situation triggered me, and how I stopped a brewing panic attack before it gets its grip. Took my deep breaths, refocused my thoughts, went to a trusted friend for a drive-by hug, and it was the middle of my work day, and I needed a quick calm between clients. When things used to trigger me, I'd be done for a few days, a total mess, not able to function. This last one was a breakthrough in that within 20 minutes, I was back on my day and was able to shake it off as just a crappy moment of my day without ruining the rest of it. Thank you. That's wonderful, Tara. Thanks for sharing that. Right on. You are taking care of yourself. Right? Think if you had a child come to you with a problem, right? And we comfort them. You went for comfort from someone that you trust, and even though someone did that for you, you still had to go get that done, didn't you? You went and asked, said, hey, I need some love. They gave you some love, and you're back on your feet, finishing your day. Wonderful. That's great, Tara. Thanks for sharing that. Nessa from United Kingdom. Hi, Nessa. Good to see you. When they are caught in a lie, why do they play the victim? A defense mechanism or a deflection, maybe. Also, do they believe they are a victim? Yes. Yes, people that play the victims are in victimhood, because victimhood is a choice. And once we realize that, we stop being victims at all. So, anybody that plays self-pity, oh, I'm no good, oh, I'm no bad, they're telling you they can't do it. Okay? Right? Just like a child that goes home from school, you know, and, oh, I'm just no good, I'm just stupid, I can't do it. They feel they can't do it. Taking accountability is too hard for people like that. It's looking at themselves, right? You're saying, look what you did, and they have to look at themselves and say, yes, I did that. Ooh, that's not good. They can't do it. They can't do it. That's it. They play the victim. They probably were victimized. Everyone's been victimized in their life at some point. But if I was victimized 5 years ago, I'm not a victim anymore. I can choose to be. I can tell you all about it, and I can cry, and I can say, this is why I do everything, because I'm a victim. I hear it all the time. This is why I do stuff, because I was victimized, because I was abused as a child. And therefore they keep doing it, right? They don't get it, they don't change it, they don't stop it, they don't fix it, because the first step is to look at yourself. Take accountability. Yes, I did that. Start understanding how it affects other people. That's it. They play the victim. And they're not playing. Someone says, I'm a victim. What do you say to them? Okay, yes, you are. I've been victimized. Okay. I've been victimized 3 years ago. Okay. Hope you're healed from that. No, I'm not. I'm still a victim. No, you're not. You believe you are. No, you're not. They're not victimizing you anymore. You're just not healed from it. Victimhood. It's a choice. Salema from France. Hi, Salema. Hi, David. Thanks for answering my question about forgiving the abuser. I think I needed to be more specific regarding mom and dad to really make a difference between the two abuses. I'll see later if I need to be specific with the other abusers, but definitely talking to you is helping so much to understand what happened. I could not figure it out myself. Yes, it was a key moment in the coaching to make the distinction between mom and dad. I am no more trapped in their craziness. Now I feel I can go ahead in my life. Many thanks, David. And that's all that matters. Thanks for sharing that, Salema. And that's all that matters. All that matters. What may traumatize you may not traumatize me. So I don't need to think about it, figure it out, process it. You're traumatized. And everything from our past, we have to have some kind of comfort with it. Okay. We have to be okay with what happened in our past. And we process these emotions and find the source and make ourselves feel better by understanding it, so we don't have to look backwards anymore. So we can begin to look forward. Okay. Now, the forgiving part. I've had so many questions about forgiveness. And I've had people debating forgiveness. I've had, my argument is you don't have to forgive someone. You definitely don't have to forgive someone to heal. I'll get to that in a second. But I get people saying, yes, you do. You have to forgive. You better forgive. You have to forgive. And then I have people saying not forgiving is a sign of low emotional intelligence. Okay. Here in America, we have capital punishment. And as what we do is totally disgusting and wrong. I am strongly against it. I don't speak political viewpoints very much, but I will today. I think killing people is wrong. Wrong. I don't care if it's legally okay or legally not okay. It's wrong. So when we kill murderers, even people that are innocent and found guilty on accident, we kill them and we invite the family to come watch. Do you think that family forgave them? No. Do they have to? No. Is it a sign of low emotional intelligence? Maybe. Are you going to tell them? No. I have a person stalking me. A lot of you guys know they make videos every day for 5 years with false accusations. They bring up my past abusers' names and stuff and fake people. And they say that, oh, David really wasn't abused. David abused this person and stuff like this. Anybody who has empathy and compassion can understand how that may make me feel. Not good. Do I have to forgive her? Do I have to forgive her for the video she made today? Claiming all kinds of false accusations, getting people to attack me, ruining my life, my business, everything. Do I have to forgive her today, right away, immediately? Do I have to forgive her? If not today, when? When do I have to forgive her? In a month? In a year? Nobody has to forgive people, okay? Here's the deal. Here's the only time that you may want to. If you're going to continue a relationship with someone who hurt you. That's when, I'll say you have to forgive them if you want to continue a relationship with them and be successful, right? If my wife was to cheat on me, if I want to continue that marriage with her, I have to forgive her. To forgive is to stop anger and resentment. Now you can do the act of forgiving. Remember when someone hit you and 5 years old or broke your toy or stole your toy, right? And you're all upset, right? And little Johnny did it. And Johnny's mom pulls Johnny over by the ear and says, now you tell David you're sorry. And he goes, no, I don't want to. Tell him you're sorry. Sorry. And then my mom goes, David, you tell Johnny you forgive him. I don't forgive him. I don't want to. Forgive him. I forgive you. Shake hands, make friends, okay. And we hate each other. Yeah? Is that what we need to do? Do we need to force people to forgive? No. Telling people they must forgive is a sign of low emotional intelligence. Telling people what to do, judging people, not understanding without compassion, empathy. Someone not asking for forgiveness, why would you give it to them? The act. So here's the deal. You don't have to forgive to heal. But when you heal, by definition, you have forgiven by default. Because once you're healed, you're not angry and don't carry resentment, but you do not have to commit to the act of it. I hope I'm clear. And it's not a sign of low emotional intelligence. If so, do you have to forgive people immediately? Do you have to live like the figure Jesus and always turn a cheek when you get hit? Sounds good, but it's not realistic, is it? I don't mind having enemies. My favorite quote is from Winston Churchill. You have enemies? Good. It means you stood up for something sometime in your life, and that's who I am. Okay? And I don't need to forgive anybody because there are acts on this planet, human acts, that are unforgivable. And if people don't want forgiveness and don't ask for it, I don't need to, commit to the act of it. But once I feel better, I'm no longer angry and I'm no longer resentful. Therefore, I guess I forgave them. Make sense? Hope I'm clear on that. Anybody want to ask me more questions about it, that's fine, but not really much of a debate. Paul from Sydney, Australia. Hi, Paul. Have you heard of gang stalking? I would like to know your take on it. Is it real or is it a symptom of PTSD caused from narcissistic abuse? No, gang stalking is absolutely real and it's illegal in most countries. It's illegal in the United States and it's illegal in the United Kingdom. I would imagine it's illegal in Australia, I guess. Gang stalking. So as I've said before, and a lot of you know that I'm being stalked for 5 years from another YouTube channel that makes many different channels and makes hundreds of videos stalking other people and stuff like that, making false accusations, false claims, and I'm one of their targets. As they've been doing this for the 5 years, other channels enjoy it and gang up with her. Now, if she was smart, she wouldn't, and I know that she wants a gang of people and support and attention, and she wants to destroy people's lives. And it's better and easier to do that as long as you have more support and a gang to do it with, but it makes it more illegal. It makes it more wrong. Okay? You don't need a gang of people to attack people. They all do it under the guise of, I'm exposing them. We're just exposing they're a bad person. Yeah, you're being a horrible, shitty, crappy person while doing it. And then you get help and gang stalk. Yeah, like it's not bad enough. Now I have several people stalking me, ganging up on me, all claiming I'm a horrible person while they're just being disgustingly gross and breaking laws. It's a real thing. It's illegal. It happens. When you see it, do what you can to fight against it. Don't support it. Don't ever support it. I don't give a shit who has anything to say about another person. We don't gang up on people and stalk them and attack them and harass them. Move on. Get a life. Go somewhere else if you don't like them. Make sense? Thanks for the question. It's a good question. I'm sorry if it's happening to you. Report it to the police. And Icom, I'm not going to try and say your last name. Omiejekwe. Sorry if I messed that up, but I tried. I have a question for next week, Mr. David. Why are there so many cluster B types in the line of work of sobriety and AA? I live in a halfway house to escape my narcissistic family, and this place is filled with them. From the patients to the administration, filled with narcissists? Maybe. Narcissistic? Yeah. You see, the sicker we get, the more narcissistic we are. Severe depression is pretty narcissistic, isn't it? I can't think of anybody else. Everybody's bad. Me. Addictions are rampant in neglect and abuse. So whether you're a victim of this stuff like you are, or whether there are narcissists, we're all victims of it, narcissists and us. We just turned out different extremes, that's all. Came from the same place, believe it or not. This means we can't emotionally cope with life. Okay? And I believe, my personal opinion, that addictions are just a symptom. Just a symptom. Not everything is great in your life except your, cocaine addiction. No. And all I have to do is just stop cocaine and everything's fine. That was the problem. That was the problem, because once I stopped it, everything's great. No, it's a symptom of something greater, something bigger, a bigger problem that we're covering up, that we're hiding, that we're not facing, not dealing with. And you're going to find that with everybody that has addictions. Every single person that has addictions has been neglected. They're neglecting themselves. They've probably been abused and traumatized. Everyone. Everyone. And the sicker you get, the more narcissistic you are. If we were brought up by narcissists and have narcissistic friends and narcissistic girlfriends and boyfriends and husbands and wives, we might be a little narcissistic. You'd be surprised. Okay? I hope I answered your question. It's extremely common. Personality disorders, extremely common to have addictions. Victims of emotional abuse, trauma, extremely common to have addictions. The relationships themselves are dependent. It's dependent, all dependency. I'm dependent on my mom and my dad. They're dependent on me and my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my friends. And I'm also dependent on sex and gambling. And I work too much and I escape at my work all the time. And then I just throw in my social life for 2 years and just work. It's all dependency. I'm depending on these outside things to help me. I can't do it myself. I depend on this, that. It's extremely common. Every single person in this is dependent somehow, right? I mean, you'll have doctors say anyone that dated a narcissist is codependent. And so we might have, all kinds of other disorders, and addiction disorders are just rampant, yeah. I hope I answered your question. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. It always made me angry when someone will chew loudly or slurp their coffee. Is it wrong to ask people to stop because it isn't actually that serious? It's not wrong to ask people to stop. Of course not. Especially if you do it nicely. I mean, there's no wrong or right. Okay. So, it's all about how you feel about it. So if you, and I know you do, Emily, you value couth, respect and manners. And so you value it, and so you're careful, and so you don't say things a lot of times to people. You don't want to be rude and stuff like this. No, you can say something anytime you want. You just find a nice way to say it. I replied to you and said, but pick your battles wisely. Choose them very wisely, right? If I'm in a cafeteria at work and I sit down, it's so busy and you kind of have to always sit next to people, in front of people, and eat your lunch, and there's someone you don't even know and across from you eating with their mouth open, I would just not look at them. But if it's my wife I have to sit across the table with and eat every day for the rest of my life, and it bothers me, I might find a nice way to tell her, honey, you have beautiful teeth. Even when you're eating. I just made that up. Honey, it drives me. I want to just peel the paint off the walls after listening to you. It's up to you, Emily, right? Who do we tell? When do we tell? That's up to you. No, it's not wrong at all. Like I said, it's actually responsible if it drives you crazy and it's someone that you choose to be around every day. You better do something. Here's a problem, right? There's a problem, got to fix it or end it. Some people will end relationships because of that. I've seen it. Gwyneth says, super as usual, David. Thank you, Gwyneth. Love to know where you're from. And Salema again from Francais. I found a fascinating text about ancient cosmogony in Eastern, have you heard of that? Cosmogony. In Eastern civilization functioning with two dynamics, majesty and beauty. Men are supposed to be majestic outwardly and beautiful inwardly. Women are supposed to be majestic inwardly and beautiful outwardly. I find it interesting. Of course, please let's put aside the current debate about gender. Yeah, there will be no debates about gender here. It is not my purpose here. My purpose is more about adding majesty and beauty in ourselves and in society. What fascinating civilization we would have then. What do you think about these two dynamics, beauty and majesty? How would you describe being majestic and beautiful? Well, what I did is I looked up majesty. It says impressive, stateliness, dignity, or beauty. So majesty is beauty too. Royal power, right? Just your majesty. So it says impressive stateliness, which is kind of that royal power. Dignity or beauty would be majesty. Men are supposed to be majestic outwardly and beautiful inwardly. Okay, so the feminine species of us are more physically beautiful, and society likes that, right? So this is about society, societal, sociology, my major in college. This would be society, right? We prefer women to be more beautiful, and we expect more from men in what they do, to be more majestic, right? Be more majestic outwardly, have more dignity. I like it. I actually really love a lot of these things that have to do with culture, because then we learn how important these things are. They're so important. That's why culture clash is horrible. Not every culture in this world can come together as one immediately. It won't work. We're too different. And we have to respect people's cultures and values and stuff like this. It's very, very important. We're seeing our culture change rapidly today. Not good. I don't know if I answered your question. Let me know if I did. Thanks, Selema. Victoria from the Bay Area again. Hello again. You brought up relationships in this video. I had to break off my relationship with my niece. She was looking for love in the San Quentin prison. A lot of people are looking for love there, huh? I couldn't allow myself to be around people that have been in prison. Trying to talk to her was a waste of time. My question is, should I just mind my own business? She is an adult, young and beautiful. I just don't understand why date an inmate. I'm not going to tell you what you should do, Victoria, but it's always better to mind our own business, right? But if this affects you, that's legitimate. If I have a friend I care for wants to date a prisoner, to me, that's danger. Yeah? Danger. Fuck are you doing? And what, when they get out of prison, you're going to have them over? If they get out, or you're never going to get out? Confusing, isn't it? It's extremely sad. Very, very sad. What's the psychology behind it? I'm not going to claim I know why she's doing it, but I'll tell you why most people do this. It's called dejection. Psychopaths, sociopaths can feel dejected. Not rejected, dejected. Sad, depressed, dispirited. Like a psychopath. Imagine it being a psychopath. They know they're different than all of us. They know there's a stigma. They know they're not accepted. They know they're hated. They can't be themselves. They have to pretend to be someone else that's accepted. You don't connect with anybody. You don't attach to anybody. Nothing. Eventually, you don't feel like you're a part of society because you're not. We hate you. And you're dejected from society. Horrible feeling. I couldn't imagine. The worst feeling, by the way. We need society. We need people. There's nothing worse. There's nothing more that causes people to commit suicide. People in prison are dejected, aren't they? Bye. We want nothing to do with you. See ya. And if you're in there for life, I can't imagine feeling more dejected than that. My guess is she finds some kind of identity in this. She identifies with this. She may feel dejected. My guess is that she doesn't communicate very well at all. My guess is that she can't form and maintain healthy relationships at all. She's had horrible experiences, and she knows goddamn well she always will. And instead of trying to be healthy, she's trying to find someone to love her. It's the same reason why a 16, 15-year-old wants to have a baby on her own. They'll tell you, I want someone to love, but really they want someone to love them. And they don't feel anyone does. And it starts with loving myself. Because if I loved myself, I'm not going to go to prison to find a mate. This is serious. Seriously dangerous. Wasted time. Besides that. If this bothers you, you said, should I have my own business? Yes, but if it bothers you, you need to do something about it, Victoria. And that's not change her or tell her what she should do. We accept her. We accept her for what she's doing. And then you can tell her how it feels. And if you don't want to feel that way anymore, the only choice is to tell her, I don't want to feel that way anymore. Are you going to continue to do this? And she says yes. And you say, I have to go, bye-bye, because I can't take one more look at this. I always use this example. If you cared for me, how long could you sit and watch me do this? You know, imagine harder with a hammer. You just keep saying stop, and I say, no, I like it. How long are you going to take that? Pete, this is a sensitive topic for a lot of you guys because we're always there. We're always there for people. We always got to help. You always got to. No, there's nothing you can do to this. You know, try and hold me, stop me forever. You guys are like, yeah. No, you're going to get the hell out of there and stop seeing it and accept that David likes to hit his goddamn head into the hammer, and it's not going to take very long before David's dead, and I'm not going to sit around and watch it because I can't stop David. You can't stop this. You can't control her. You can't sit there and send her things and let her do it. You don't like it? Walk away. If you care about the relationship with her, give her a chance. Tell her. Say, I'm not threatening you to leave you. I'm just saying I can't do this anymore, so I'm going to go. And if she doesn't want to lose you and she decides I don't want to do this anymore, then she can make that decision. Okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I want to be your friend. Okay. She hates herself. But she really thinks everyone else does too. She doesn't love herself. You know, I mean, God, look, you date someone in prison, right? They can't cheat on you. Well, yeah, they aren't going to cheat on you, most likely. They can't leave you. There's no other competition. They'll accept you no matter how disgustingly bad, ugly, fat, stupid you think you are. Sad. Sad. Dejection is what I think is going on here. And okay, it's not working. I think that's it. For some reason. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. I'm just going to check here in a second. But yeah, thank you, all of you. If you guys think this is beneficial, you want to support me and what I'm doing, I really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and vote on the video. Tell me why down there. Ask questions. Share this. Really, really appreciate it. And again, all of you, I'd really appreciate it if you could support the Stop Narcissistic Bullying petition. Thank you. Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you next week. Ask questions. Bye.